everyone. As we wrap up the 117th Congress, I want to share some of the accomplishments we've made, and I'll try to fit it all in 3-ish minutes, which will be tough. Put 3 minutes on the clock and let's give it a shot. Here we go. Protecting our health and environment are big themes here. For starters, I authored and just introduced the Comprehensive Cancer Survivorship Act, which will develop care standards, grants, and other resources to help survivors survive and thrive. No one who survives this deadly disease should be left to fend for themselves. I also secured $900,000 for the Promise Fund of the Florida Breast and Cervical Screening and Cancer Program to boost mammography, ultrasound, and cervical health care services for uninsured residents at 200% or below the federal poverty level. My Florida colleagues and I also established the Alcee Hastings Grant Program to honor our late friend, Congressman Hastings, with a new program to expand cancer prevention and screenings in medically underserved communities. I helped ensure women's continued access to mammograms with no copay starting at age 40, and also ensured that women veterans treated at the VA don't face obstacles to accessing the care that they and their providers deem necessary. The House Appropriations Committee adopted my amendment to prohibit federal funds from being used to prosecute women for crossing state lines to obtain abortion services. And here's a couple of big wins. I led my Florida colleagues in working with President Biden to direct $1.1 billion from the infrastructure bill to Everglades restoration, which is on top of the $407 million we secured in the FY23 omnibus budget. I also worked with the Biden White House and Congress to speed up construction of the EAA reservoir, a linchpin of our restoration efforts. And we secured a comprehensive study of the flood control structures in Central and South Florida to help guide decisions on how to better protect our community for future generations. I was able to secure $11 million for Florida International University to establish new coastal monitoring systems in South Florida to protect infrastructure vulnerable to subsurface and saltwater risks, which poses a real threat as sea levels rise. I brought home $500,000 for the University of Miami to expand molecular surveillance of coronavirus variants, providing an early warning system to alert to the presence of new variants in South Florida. As chair of the Military Construction and Veterans Affairs Appropriations Subcommittee, I'm proud that the fiscal year 2023 omnibus that we just passed makes a strong commitment to our veterans, service members, and their families. It does that by improving readiness and providing the benefits and medical care our veterans earned during their service to our nation. The omnibus also funds vital community projects in my district and across South Florida. That means I secured $2.5 million for the city of Sunrise to build an intermodal facility for cleaner alternate transit options like bike and scooter rentals, electric charging stations, and community bus stops. We secured $1.5 million for the David Posnack Jewish Community Center to boost employment opportunities for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. I also secured $1.7 million for the Miami Project to Cure Paralysis to research and develop new treatments and therapies for traumatic brain and spinal cord injuries. Our hard work also secured $800,000 for the town of Davie to purchase body cameras for police, keeping officers and the public safer. We also secured $3.8 million for Nova Southeastern University to tackle stony coral tissue loss disease, which is devastating our treasured coral reefs. Plus, we funded critical infrastructure, clean transit, and improved water quality in Hollywood, Southwest Ranches, and Sunrise. And we secured $55 million for the urgently needed new Fort Lauderdale Federal Courthouse. My Virginia Graham Baker Pool and Spa Safety Reauthorization Act legislation was incorporated into the omnibus, and I'm proud its grant program eligibility has been expanded so it can continue to prevent drownings and save lives. We also secured $3.8 million for Hollywood to upgrade their drinking water infrastructure and avoid raising city user fees. And I also secured $1.5 million for Howndale Beach to construct an all-electric bus fleet and EV charging facility to help reduce pollution. You'll see these new electric buses this year. Here's a couple more accomplishments I'm especially proud of. We took on big tobacco and successfully pushed the FDA to ban flavors and menthol from store shelves. And I worked across the aisle with Senator John Cornyn to pass the Protect Our Children Act to keep our children safe from internet predators. And between my district and my DC offices, we served over 1,600 constituents on everything from passports, Social Security and Medicare benefits, to VA, IRS, and immigration issues. Wow, there it is. That was definitely 3-ish minutes, but this is by no means all we accomplished in this last Congress. You can see even more wins at my official website, wassermanschultz.house.gov, As you just heard, Democrats and President Biden worked overtime for the American people these last 2 years, and we are not done. I'll keep fighting for our community's best interest. Thank you so much.